Hey, this is Stephen Harwitz, Senior Music Editor at KiwiboxDotCom, and we're here at the Apollo Theater in New York City to talk to Miri Ben-Ari, the hip-hop violinist, at Israel's 60th anniversary celebration.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you tonight?
Doing excellent. So this isn't your first time playing at the Apollo?
Not at all. I'm actually an Apollo legend.
I know, I've
After
read.
playing here my very first time, would you believe that?
Yeah.
The very first time I played the Apollo, I became an Apollo legend. And without even knowing the magnitude and the importance of the Apollo, I was such a rookie.
So your most recent single, Symphony of Brotherhood, was originally dedicated to the fight for racial equality and the civil rights movement. How do you think it relates to Israel's independence this year, this landmark occasion?
Well, first of all, the fight against racism is a very universal fight. I am a third generation to Holocaust survivors. I lost a whole family in Poland because of racism. And I could not relate more to civil rights movements, the fight against racism, and of course my hero, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I am so lucky and privileged to having the opportunity of featuring his works and his footage on my song and video, Symphony of Brotherhood.
So you're playing your single, Symphony of Brotherhood, tonight. What can the audience expect from that?
Tonight is a very special night because we're celebrating Israel's 60th in a whole other way. We're at the Apollo with my fellow brother and sister African-American community. And we're celebrating the fellowship between Israel and Black America. And this is very unique and special experience. And I think by being an Israeli-born artist that plays hip-hop music and then dedicated a song to the legacy of Martin Luther King at the Apollo celebrating Israel's 60th, I think this is almost like a bridge.
More recently, you've been doing a lot of philanthropic work. Can you explain to Kiwibox users what kind of work you're doing with the Jewish community, just so that they know?
Philanthropic work, first of all, is something that is from the heart, because it's not about you or your career and your ambitions. It's really about things that you really, really care about. And we already talked about the fight against racism and how personal it is to me, because I'm a third generation to Holocaust survivors. And when I heard that 50% of the kids graduating high school in America don't even know what the Holocaust is, it was a hard fact to swallow and comprehend. And I decided to do something about that. And I decided to come up with my own not-for-profit organization, Gedenk. It means to remember in Yiddish. And our goal is to promote awareness and education to the kids in America about the Holocaust in a different way. You know, we shot 3 public service announcements that were played and still playing on Viacom's network, MTV. It was on a Viacom billboard at Times Square, and it's talking about the Holocaust. So it's really groundbreaking. We also had a celebrity campaign where a lot of celebrities wrote quotes to us and to me. Why do they support this cause, and why is it important for the kids in America to know about the Holocaust? You had people like Russell Simmons, like Donna Summers, John Legend, Run DMC, Wyclef Jean, Public Enemy. Everybody was talking about this particular subject. This is not the Israeli or the Jewish community. This is another community that supports our community, and it makes things very special.
Well, you've made a lot of political statements and have tried to educate the masses by taking a stand, and that's not very common in hip-hop and urban music with a lot of the artists who are given this opportunity to have a voice. Why do you think they haven't taken that same responsibility that you've brought upon yourself?
I don't know. You know, the world is big, and I encourage artists and people to take a stand. I think it's so important to think about other people and care about the world, you know, aside from caring about ourselves. And I think that if we all do something about things we care about, I think we can make the world a better place. And I also think that as an artist, we do have the responsibility to promote messages that are bigger than us.
It's been a while since your 2005 album, The Hip-Hop Violinist. Any plans for a follow-up?
Absolutely. My next album is probably the best album I ever made. It's really pushing the envelope. Like, we thought The Hip-Hop Violinist was new and groundbreaking. This one is really new and groundbreaking. A breath of fresh air. I'm going to introduce instrumental music in a very current way, in a way that I think it was never introduced before. Symphony of Brotherhood is my first single, so you already know, like, you know, the path that I'm taking. I'm not afraid to take chances. I'm not afraid to bring music back to the scene. I know the very produced world of today is kind of afraid to take chances, and I'm not. I know people love music. There's so many instrumentalists that people love listening to. You have Carlos Santana, you have Grover Washington, Herbie Hancock this year, Kenny G. I mean, so many classical musicians. People love music, and people love musical instruments, and I'm going to bring this movement back.
We've seen you do a lot of collaboration with hip-hop artists in the past, hip-hop and R&B artists. Can we expect
We're going to have collaboration also on this album. Okay. Because I cannot say no to a few legends that wanted to support my album. I cannot tell you who is going to be on my album. You'll have to wait, but I'm so excited.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kiwibox, Miri Ben-Ari. Stay tuned.